Okay, thank you. I probably have 5 minutes to finish this. I hope I can do that. All right, talking about Paul and Thomas talked a lot about the compliances and technologies, and so here I talk a little bit detail about the technology and the trust of the technology along the supply chain. Right, so tracking and traceability, where we are now. So current technology mostly is paper-based, and RFID probably a little bit better. However, there are problems like the paper passing and also RFID. You can get the information, get the ID only at the gate. What happens in between, we don't know, right? What happened, like any incidents, how long does it take along the truck road, right? We don't know. Is there any solutions? Internet of Things is coming. That is a solution. And we actually, as a matter of fact, we are using Internet of Things now. You probably can't miss the Google Home like advertisement all over, like for home automation. And also, you've probably seen the bike sharing using IoT technology to track the bike across the city, right? As well, like for example, like my smartwatch is tracking my walking and running across the street and in the sports ground, right? The question is, can this IoT technology be applied to the farm, right? Currently, and probably not for now, right? Not for, at the moment. Currently, it's too expensive, and the devices are too bulky, and also the battery lifetime is probably too short, right? However, and let's look into the future, like in 3 to 5 years' time, what's going to happen. All right, so there are already currently a few developing technologies, for example, like the low-power Wi-Fi and the LoRaWAN and Sigfox. And the new standard narrowband IoT is going to be in the next generation mobile technology. That's in 5G. So we are using 4G now, right? The next generation mobile technology will be 5G. And what's in the 5G, right? What's the IoT technology in the 5G, which will give us low cost, right? Low cost, like now it's $30 to $50 per device, and in the future it will be like around $3 to $5. And getting smaller, and getting now it's very bulky, but getting into the coin size in 3 to 5 years' time, and also having longer range. Now, in a few years' time, can reach 10 kilometer and over. That long communication range can report detailed monitoring measurements, like what Thomas just talked about, and also have very long battery time as well. How can the IoT be used in the farm? That's a question, right? Or we can say, what if we give a cattle an iWatch, right? And so what can be happen, right? What can happen if we give cattle an iWatch is that we can track the time, track the location, we can monitor the movements, not just using cameras, but also using the GPS signals across the farm. And the feeding pattern as well. Thomas talked about this using camera technology as well, right? And also along the supply chain, not only in the farm or in the farmhouse, but we can actually tracking the animal across the supply chain, across the road, along the ship, in the ship, and on board the ship, and even overseas abattoir, right? And we can use this tracking technology all across the supply chain. And what more can IoT do, right? And so some of this technology Tom just talked about, we can feel, right? This sensor gives you feeling right? You can feel the temperature, you can feel the moisture, and you can feel the wind flow. And it can give you the sense of smell. Actually, we are developing the electronic nose that actually you can smell the scent, either in the farmhouse or in the farmyard. And it gives you a sense of hear. You can hear that. And again, Thomas talked about this using acoustic analysis. And these are also some technology developed in our team as well. And to pick up the stress noise and the fighting noise as well. And also, you can see with the cameras, give you a sense of the vision, right? And not just watching the video. Watching the video will be very boring, right? And we can use the data analytics to analyze the video, which can, say, for example, like detect individual cattle with facial recognition, so detect which one it is. And we can also, using this image analysis, to detect the growth, the cattle growth, the size. I think Thomas again talked about this using in the for the pig to estimate the pig size as well, right? So for cattle, we can use that as well. We can also do the animal counting. For example, like this one is flying a drone across the farm and then detecting where the cattle is and how many are there in which area. And then we can do something and making some actions. Right? And so trust. So like before me and Paul talked about the trust, and yesterday and this morning also a lot of speakers talking about the trust. Right, now with the IoT technology, you got all the data, all right, and data available. But the question is, can we trust the data? Especially along the supply chain, and the supply chain involves multiple companies. And do you trust the data that come from other companies, right? And the ownership of this data, who own this data, and how to solve that problem. And if the other company owns this data, they gave me this data, do I trust that, right? And what if, right, that company or some other company actually tampered this data, right? How do you make sure that this data hasn't been tampered with before sending it to you, right? Is there any solutions to that, right? The question is how to ensure the trust along this supply chain, which involve a series of different companies. All right, and the blockchain is actually a solution for this trust, all right? If you don't know, like a blockchain is the underlying technology for the Bitcoin. You probably know Bitcoin. And this blockchain technology enables millions of people unknown to each other, and they trade these Bitcoins worth thousands of dollars. And they don't have trust in each other, right? But this technology gives the trust to them, right? They don't have to know each other. Right? And this technology, and what's to make this blockchain technology giving the trust among these millions of unknown people, right? The tamper-resistant technology that is built in this blockchain technology, and that is a key technology that enables this trust in this data. So because of this like very good trusting technology, and what we want to do is we want to take that from a financial asset. It is actually a financial technology, right? But we want to take this financial technology into the IoT, into the farm, right? And before that, we want to prove that, and whether this blockchain can be built into the IoT to serve the farm. And so we built this blockchain into an IoT testbed in our lab. That is a picture on your right-hand side. And we demonstrate that this tamper-resistant property, right? By doing this, we hacked in one node, and we changed the temperature from the previously measured, it's measured as 30 degree, but let's temper it to, say, 15 degree, right? Just because might be the person think, 30 degree too hot. Let's change it to 15, make it looks better. Can that be done? And the next thing is the blockchain actually found that out by signaling that with a broken chain. The chain is broken, and that signals something has been tampered with. And even better is that after the blockchain synchronized, and then this hacked record has been repaired back into the 30 degree, which is the original measure. So the blockchain repairs itself, can have the capability to repair itself. So that's the way we build the trust along this digital, we call it digitized supply chain, because we use IoT technology to enable the supply chain tracking and traceability. And also we use the blockchain to ensure the trust among the data that's collected and shared along this supply chain. And in UTS, right, and we are actually building a digitized supply chain that is secured by the blockchain technology, and this project is called UCOT, and you'll hear more about that very soon. In conclusion, right, and I talk about these two things. One is the IoT is ready for tracking and traceability. The other thing is the blockchain guarantees trust along this supply chain. And we are building this IoT plus blockchain powered trusted supply chain technology. Thank you very much for your attention.